Eli5 Why are there so many self-identified bisexual women and so few men? Hot take here. Female on female sex is fundamentally different from male on male. It is much easier for a woman to swing both ways. They have all the sexual organs that fulfills intended function, while anal sex is using organs that is not its intended function. Anal sex is much more convoluted and complicated with all the hygiene extra steps it involves. This was only the physical part. Socially, female on female is much more accepted and more mainstream as a male heterosexual fantasy. Not to mention that heterosexual females don't find male on male action as arousing. The answer lies more in socialization and behavioral studies rather than biology, I'd say. Women are exposed to social justice movements more uniformly via feminism, which may lead them to other justice movements like LGBT liberation. Also, speaking broadly, typically the social repercussions for men breaking the norm and coming out as bi are much harsher than for women due to misogynistic tropes. Bi women may be written off as confused or going through a phase, but bi men may be completely alienated, even if they attempt to go back into the closet or anything like that. Bro, how you gonna sit here and explain to me that you bisexual, that you still like girls? You can't get fucked in the ass, suck another man's dick and then walk up to your homeboys and be like, where the bitches at? Ain't no bitches, Mr. Booty Loose, you just got raped in the ass, yo, you gay now. You can't be a blood and a crip at the same time, pick one. They be talking about I still like girls, I had a girlfriend before. Yeah, you had a girlfriend cause she didn't know about your dirty little secret. You gay now, ain't no coming back. I'd like to reference one famous bisexual, David Bowie. He was openly and unashamedly bisexual, but I've seen at least one interview where the interviewer responded, so that means you're gay? I think that sentiment is commonplace, and alongside the double standard that lesbians and two-woman threesomes are hot, it's no wonder the stigma keeps bisexual men in the closet. I'd be willing to bet that more men are hiding their bisexuality than hiding homosexuality even now that tolerance is improving. I'm bi AF to Lamau. Bisexual men are both seen as, and in my limited, strictly personal, jailhouse gay where there are no willing females, so they give up and become bi or gay, but still lose their shit when presented with the opportunity for male-female intercourse. My partner cis F and I in BM are not in a closed relationship, and we looking together and separately have given up finding male partners that want us both because they always ditch me for her. Bisexual men keep it very private. And from what I have learned, they also keep track of each other. It's almost like a secret community of sorts. They have a lot to lose if they are outed as bi and bi. And the most secretive of them are the most masculine. I have had a lot of buddies that were bi and it would take me years to figure out. They knew I wasn't homophobic, but it was still too dangerous for them to just come out and tell me they were bi. Many of those so-called bisexuals aren't actually bisexual. Men in Western society deem bisexual women sexy because they hope for a threesome at some point. Many women call themselves bisexual because of that, despite having no wish at all to sleep with a woman. Source: my fiancée kept on saying she was bisexual despite constantly also saying she does not find women sexually attractive. Also, I have quite a few female friends who do the same. Our society tells what the various genders and associated sexualities there are to choose from, and, in most societies, the combination of the gender referred to as man, and the sexuality referred to as bisexual is actively campaigned against by almost all the other groups, so even if you recognize that you fit those definitions, it's easier to just not mention it, and define yourself as gay or straight as the situation demands. I've thought about this affair, but in the conclusion that I've come to is that women and girls are taking back control that has been taken away from them by society. Society is ways telling them what to look like and how to behave. Essentially, what they are and what their existence should be. By self-identifying, they're taking back control of their own bodies. Men haven't traditionally faced such suppression. I'm going to chime in here with a much more accurate answer: virtue signaling. Most bisexual women will only have relationships and sexual experiences with men. They call themselves bisexual because it is fashionable to be a minority within the female population, giving them a social advantage. This is why the phenomenon is really only common in white women, or, to be more accurate, women of a higher socio-economic class. A few possibilities. 1. Sexualization of the female body is more prevalent in culture rather than the male. 2. Generally, women tend to be more progressive in politics, and progressive in politics usually means more liberated from cultural norms. 3. Social stigma related to man love versus women love. But we don't know, really hard to test as well. Stigma mainly. Woman with woman is deemed sexy by many men. Men with men is not deemed sexy by many women. Added to expand in case not clear, this means bi women don't have to fear being less attractive to men if they want to swing both ways, while if a man wants to swing both ways he pretty much has to hide it or risk losing attractiveness with women. If you're a bisexual woman, men and women will sleep with you. If you're a bisexual man, men will sleep with you and women will judge you or try to make you their gay guy friend, which isn't going to happen. I also think bisexual men scare women to a degree because it shows that we don't really need them as much as they think we do. Just spitballing here, but I wonder how much of that has to do with basically every straight guy anywhere ever finding lesbians or bi women hot, while the reverse at least appears to be less common. Like there are certainly women out there who are into watching two guys, but it seems to be a lot less common, if that makes sense. Men face more pressure to conform to traditional notions of masculinity that discourage fluidity or bisexuality. This can contribute to a reluctance among some men to openly identify as bisexual due to fear of judgment or negative stereotypes. Response to someone above: I'm a woman and find man on man very hot. I'm wondering. I'm possibly bi and I feel like I'd be okay dating a bi man, and it might be hypocritical of me not to be because I want him to accept me being bi. Are bi women as a rule more likely to date a bi man than straight women? Also, are gay men more likely to date a bi man than a straight woman is? Just comes down to natural selection, where gay male sex was more prone to catching a disease that outright killed them or crippled their reproductive success. Female gay sex was a lot safer, in contrast lack of penetration perhaps. Therefore more female bisexuals survive than male ones. Society has had, and still has, sexist expectation of men to be manly and strong, and not show emotion or mistakes. At the same time, gay men were, and are, seen as effeminate. All of that, and other factors, means that men are less inclined to exploring their sexuality than women. This is going to be a rough Eli5, I imagine. Being a bi girl is like saying you love chocolate and vanilla ice cream. Being a bi guy is like saying you love sea cucumber ice cream. It's all ice cream and you can like what you like, but there's just general mass appeal to one. Lots of people offering answers, but they're all guessing. Due to social stigmas, homosexuality is very hard to study objectively. However, that doesn't mean you can assume social stigma is the cause of any phenomenon. We don't know why there is a gender bias in bisexuals. It's a mix between how each respective gender views their own homosexual population, how society views both genders, and how males and females have different inherent behaviors and ways of acting. There's a long conversation that could be had about this. My psychologist said it is because it was common for women to have intimacy with each other, because their men were hunting for days or get killed, so women were lonely and compensate intimacy with other women. But I don't know if this is true. That guy here. I've had women tell me they're not attracted to me when they find out I'm bisexual. Gay men ridicule me by saying bisexuality doesn't exist and it's just copium for closeted gay men who are too pussy to admit they're gay, because there is still stigma about guys being attracted to guys. Women think, is he actually just gay and doesn't accept it? Will I be the girl that he finally figures that out on? Guys think, yeah, he's just gay. Social stigma is much greater for men to reveal bisexuality than women. If a man is bi, it's immediately assumed that he must actually be gay and, therefore, weak. 30 millennial, spent the first 15 years of my life being bullied and called gay for unrelated things. Not in a hurry to give people more ammunition. Higher neuroticism and jealousy in their straight partners. Many people connect bisexuality with promiscuity, and men come flagged there. Self-identified? Do you think people get diagnosed with bisexuality or something? Who else would decide your sexual preferences? Because two women making out is hot body autonomy girl power. Two men making out is gay. That's all there is to it. It's social. Let's just say that if I had the faintest idea as to how horrible people actually were in grade 3, I would have kept my mouth shut. From what I've are afraid to be approximately gay. So, being bi is an enormous hang-up. It's cultural. Being other than straight is not seen as manly, so guys keep it to themselves.